Hey everybody, Rob Hogue here for Bass Stalker Fishing. Today I want to start my series on the top 5 baits that every beginner should know how to fish. I'll do an individual video for each of these baits, and it's probably going to be on the water. But I just wanted to take the time and list the baits and tell you a little bit about them. I'm not going to go too far in depth with this stuff today. I just wanted to get the list out there, and then we'll start the series, and I'll do a video for each individual bait. So let's get started. The first one I talked about yesterday. Actually, I did a product review on it already, and it's the Zoom Fluke Stick. Okay, they have two different sizes. They have the 5-inch size, and they have the 6 1/4-inch size. Like I said yesterday, these baits are great. Stickworm baits. These are like your Senkos and your Yum Dingers are stickworm baits. This is Fluke's version, and I actually prefer these over any other version. And I fished both of those other ones. The plastic's good; they last longer. But stickworms, you can't really go wrong with stickworms. Stickworms are good any time of the year, really. Your presentation might change a little bit, but the bait's very good, especially for beginners. The presentation's really easy to learn, and they just catch fish. You might not catch the biggest fish in the lake, and they might not give you a great average, but they really shine in tough conditions. When the bite's tough, it's hard to beat. Whether it's wacky rigged or Texas rig, it's hard to beat a stickworm. So that's our number one. Our number two would be a square bill crankbait, but the one I found that I prefer over every other square bill crankbait is the Strike King KVD square bill crankbait. They have a 1.5, which is this, and that dives about anywhere between 2 to 4 feet depending on your line choice. And they have the 2.5, which is obviously a little bit bigger. This is the neon bluegill color. Awesome color. This one goes between 3 and you might be able to get it down 6 feet deep with really light line. They also have an 8.0, which it's a lot bigger. I don't have any yet. I don't really have a need for it up here at the lakes I fish, but it's a lot bigger, and that'll get down 4, 5, 6, 7 feet deep depending on line choice. I am going to purchase those baits eventually. Those baits are when you're really targeting bigger fish. If I lived in the South, I would definitely be having those baits somewhere on the Tennessee River, or in like Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Texas, someplace like that. I would definitely have those baits. Nothing beats the KVD square bill crankbaits. I think they're the best square bill crankbaits on the market. Square bill crankbaits are great because they deflect off stuff, so you could be bringing it through and hit a tree, and it's actually made to deflect off stuff. And a lot of times that's when you're going to get the strike, when that bait changes direction. The great thing about the Strike King KVD square bill crankbaits is when you just fish them without bumping them into stuff, they kind of wander back and forth, and a lot of times that change of direction is what triggers them. I'll get in on the retrieve and stuff when we do the video on them. Number 3 would be the old trusted spinnerbait. There's more than these styles, but these are the styles that you beginner fishermen should have. This is a willow Colorado blade. It's got one willow and one Colorado blade. This is for a little dirtier water because it goes a little slower. It creates a little more vibration. And then you have your double willow leaf spinnerbaits. If you had to pick one size, if you're a shore fisherman, I would go 3/8. If I was fishing off a boat, I would go 1/2 ounce. I have spinnerbaits up to 3/4 ounce, and I'm probably going to purchase a couple 1 ounce spinnerbaits. But great spinnerbaits. These are Strike King spinnerbaits. I mean, spinnerbaits are pretty much the same. You're really worried about the blades. Definitely fish it with a trailer hook. If it doesn't come with a trailer hook, you can purchase trailer hooks separately. But a lot of sometimes those bass will miss the bait, and I think that trailer hook just gives you a better hookup ratio with spinnerbaits. That's your number 3. Your number 4 is going to be a Topwater Popper. You can see the front of that. When you fish this, you're just gonna give twitches and it's gonna pop water. Great baits, especially in like the springtime and the fall time, or cloudy days in the summer. These baits are great. They're easy to fish so kids can use them fairly easily. Just a great bait that's kind of stood the test of time. And number 4, probably the bait that has caught more fish than any other bait, and it's your regular ribbon tail rubber worm. You fish these Texas rigged, with a weight, without a weight, Carolina rigged, all kinds of ways. I normally only fish 2 different lengths. This is a 7-inch. This is a Berkley power worm. I've been fishing these worms since probably 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, somewhere around there. I only fish the Berkley power worms in the 7-inch. I fish a 10.5-inch worm too. This is a Zoom ol'monster worm. It's 10.5 inches. Like I said before, I love Zoom plastics. I love their 10.5-inch worm. The only worm I don't fish Zoom, it's that 7-inch worm, because I do like the power worms in the 7-inch. But those are our top 5 baits that every beginner should know how to fish. And if you knew how to fish all 5 of these baits, you're going to become pretty consistent when you're out on the water fishing. So check back and we'll do a video on each of those baits and on the water, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.